It's 1 a.m. in the morning. You and your girlfriend are settled in for the night. You're in bed. You hear a loud bang at your back door as it's being broken down. What would you do? At the moment, there's no backing out. You're now faced with a split-second life or death situation. What would you do? Breonna Taylor, 26 years old, of Louisville, Kentucky, was gunned down by police on March 13th of 2020 during a no-knock warrant. It all happened around 1 a.m., or actually around 12:45 a.m. Breonna and her boyfriend, Kenneth Walker, were both inside their apartment at the time. Breonna was a decorated EMT working in the emergency department in the Louisville Medical Center, Jewish East. According to police findings, Walker fired upon entry, and the three officers returned fire blindly throughout the apartment. Sergeant John Maddenley was hit. He was also accompanied by Detective Miles Cosgrove and Brett Hankinson. They were all in plain clothes, and they were all without body cameras. 8 of the 20 rounds connected with Breonna, which indicatively caused her death. Now, if any politician, anybody in the whole system had any moral integrity to themselves at all whatsoever, the thought of a no-knock raid or a no-knock warrant would not exist in the first place. It's 100% unconstitutional. As political heads preach daily to the masses about the necessities for safety of the people, then they turn around and they still allow this legalized breaking and entering to occur. No-knock warrants and no-knock raids are completely diametrically opposed to the United States Constitution and especially to the Fourth Amendment. The Fourth Amendment states the right of the people to be secure in their persons, houses, papers, and effects against unreasonable searches and seizures shall not be violated. Although Kentucky Senator Rand Paul made a statement about no-knock raids, no-knock warrants, and specifically according to this shooting death of Breonna Taylor, and I quote, he said, "No-knock raids should be forbidden." Breonna Taylor's boyfriend, Kenneth Walker, did shoot, but he shot at what he thought was an intruder coming into his home. Walker was charged after watching his girlfriend just being killed in front of him with the attempted murder of a police officer, and that was Sergeant John Maddenley, who was struck in the leg but is expected to make a full recovery. Here's a short clip from the boyfriend, Kenneth Walker. He done a live interview and explained the first few minutes of what happened, and I will leave the entire link to this interview in the description of this video.
First thing she said was, "Who is it?" No response. So we like, what the heck? We both.
So you were just laying in bed?
Watched the movie.
So you was in your room watching?
Both in the room. She had actually just dozed off, probably like 10 minutes before. So I'm laying there, laying on her, watching the movie by myself. There was a loud bang at the door. Both of us are not decent. Can't even think of the word right now. You know, we're at home. We're in the bed. It's 12 at night. Our day's over. So it's a loud bang at the door. She pops up out of sleep and scared her to death. Me too. Like, who is that? I was honestly thinking it was because we've been on and off together or whatever for like 7 years or whatever. So it was a guy that she was messing with or whatever throughout that time, you know. And he popped up over there once before while I was there like a couple months ago. So that's what I thought was going on. So it's loud at the door. First thing she said was, "Who is it?" No response. So we like, what the heck? We both get up, start putting on clothes. Another knock at the door. She's like, "Who is it?" Loud at the top of her lungs. No response. So I'm like, what the heck? So then I grab my gun, which is legal, like I'm licensed to carry everything. I've never even fired my gun outside of a range. I'm scared to death. So she says that there's another knock at the door. She's yelling at the top of her lungs, and I am too at this point. Who is it? No answer, no response, no anything. So we like, what the heck? We both just see what I have on. Grab the nearest thing. These aren't even mine. These are hers. Like, so we both are just putting on something to go answer the door and see who's knocking at the door. It's late at night. So when we get out of the bed or whatever, like walking towards the door, the door comes off the hinges. So I just let off one shot. Like, I still can't see who it is or anything. So now the door's flying open. I have one shot, and then all of a sudden there's a whole lot of shots. And we both just dropped to the ground, and the gun fell right over there. And I kicked it because I'm scared to death. Now we're seeing lights and stuff. So it's looking like, okay, it's the police, and there's a lot of yelling and stuff. So there's just shooting, we're both on the ground, and then when all the shots stop, I'm panicking. She's right there on the ground, bleeding, and yeah.
It's a lot.
The man in front of you on the screen is Jamarcus Glover. He was the one listed on the search warrant along with Breonna Taylor, but that was only because Breonna was the owner of the home. Here's a little background into Glover and the whole story behind the beginning and the end of the no-knock warrant.
In January, police believed a suspected drug dealer, Jamarcus Glover, was using Breonna Taylor's apartment to ship drugs to avoid detection. The search warrant states Glover and second suspect, Adrian Walker, used this vehicle to travel to and from a trap house on Elliott Avenue, more than 10 miles from Taylor's apartment on Springfield Drive. In one instance, detectives said Glover was seen picking up a package from Taylor's home and then taking it to another known drug house. He was charged the same morning Taylor was killed. Taylor's attorneys, which include National Civil Rights Attorney Ben Crump, have 4 witnesses who plan to prove them wrong.
They did not identify themselves and that they were in plain clothes.
Now guys, get this. Taylor's family has filed a wrongful death lawsuit against the 3 officers in the raid. The suit claims that Taylor was a secondary target in a drug investigation that already resulted in an arrest, which was the arrest of the Glover man that you just seen in the previous video clip. Just like in most of America's police misconducts, the LMPD Public Integrity Unit, which is led by Ted Idem, is investigating the incident. So therefore, the Louisville police is investigating themselves, the Louisville police. But all the while, the Louisville, Kentucky Police Chief, Steve Conrad, has resigned from his position since this shooting occurred. There's one more thing I'd like to go over, and I'm going to say this in defense of the boyfriend Kenneth Walker. Does Kentucky have a stand your ground law? Yes, Kentucky is a castle doctrine state and does have a stand your ground law. A person who is not engaged in unlawful activity and who is attacked in any other place where he or she has a right to be has no duty to retreat. Any person who uses a gun in self-defense has immunity from criminal and civil law. The use of deadly force extends to an occupied vehicle and any place the person has the right to be, as long as the person feels that their life is in danger. This law was passed in 2006. So it's made completely clear in this situation that Kenneth Walker was using his firearm in self-defense. Now, if things had been different, maybe there would have been another ruling. But Kenneth Walker was released a few days after the shooting, which he should have never been arrested in the first place. But he was released to go home on house arrest. And now his lawyer has finally worked it out to where all the charges have been dropped against Mr. Kenneth Walker. And basically, this is on the heels of the Louisville Metro Police Department. Regardless what happens in this case when it's finally over, but Kenneth Walker is free and clear as for now. But the only thing that the family can get in return, as far as Breonna Taylor is concerned, is justice. Guys, for now, that's all I got. Make sure and leave this video a thumbs up, share it on all your social media accounts, and if you haven't subscribed to the channel, make sure and hit that subscribe button before you leave. Other than that, guys, take care of yourself, keep secure your freedoms, and I will see you all in the next video.